Hi, my name is Kate Ham from Untitled, and today I'm going to play with variations of cat-cow. I do recommend having a set of blocks. If you don't have blocks, having a bunch of books can also be helpful. And you probably are familiar with cat-cow, knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. You can come onto wrists or have something underneath, like a towel under your wrist if needed. Exhale, round up into a cat, inhaling, coming into a cow. Exhale to cat again, try to pull the belly button up towards your spine, try to tuck the tailbone down. Let the tailbone lift up as the shoulders come onto your back, looking forward. Exhaling into cat again, staying here, bringing the right shoulder towards the right hip, left shoulder towards the left hip, coming back into neutral in a cow. Right shoulder will come towards the right hip, left shoulder and hip will try to touch as well. Back to neutral. Coming into a complete neutral spine. Grab onto a block and place the right hand on top of a block. On an exhale, come into a cat. Inhale, come into a cow. Trying to keep the arms straight, so I'm not trying to bend down. What I'm doing is actually rotating my thoracic spine in particular by elevating that right shoulder, which is going to give you a different feel into the stretch. You may even be able to come up to a higher level as long as your hands can stay down, arms can stay straight, and be mindful that your hips aren't also doing anything funky. They're staying pretty close towards a neutral position. Come back to neutral. Bring the block underneath. The left hand will start off with a left level, with the lowest level. Exhaling to cat, inhale to cow. And this in itself may be a lot for people. So this is where maybe having books for just a slight elevation can help. But I like the way that it feels in the spine. And one side may feel a little easier than the other because we do tend to rotate in one direction. So you go up to the highest level and don't feel pressure to do this. You can always go back to that lower level. If you are ever feeling sharp pain, please stop doing whatever anyone asks. And you can always stay in a spot if you just find like, oh, I like that stretch. Maybe you can get into sending the hips and shoulders side to side, which can also give you a little more. Now, bring the block underneath the right knee. So here we're in all fours. This time now the rotation is coming more in through the pelvis and through the the lumbar spine. Exhaling into cat, inhaling to cow. I wouldn't go on a higher level than this for the pelvis unless you know you have a lot of room. This in itself is quite enough. At least it is for my body. Everyone has a different body. Come back into neutral. And now see about doubling up. The left hand will have the block, right knee will have the block. So I'm rotating in opposite directions. And exhale into cat, inhale into cow. And maybe play around, sending the hips to the right, to the left. And just see how that feels. I find I'm able to get a stretch and strength in the spine that I don't normally do. And we can move the block under the hand off to the side. Take the block underneath the right knee, underneath the left. Starting off again, both hands on the ground, left knee is higher. Exhaling, coming into cat, inhaling to cow. And just as with the shoulders, you might find your pelvis naturally kind of legs being rotated in one side versus the other. And if you tried it, or even if you didn't, maybe you want to try it again, try it, having the right hand underneath the block for some cat-cow. And it's definitely changing the range of motion that I can get, and that's okay. You know, if we don't always have to hit maximum, especially when we are putting ourselves in different positions, and it's good to sometimes only work with what feels good. So maybe come back to cat-cow again, and notice, does it feel easier? Do you get a different range? How does the back feel? You can sit back into a child's pose. So these are some different variations of cat-cow that you may not have tried before that I really found when I started doing them, just getting into spots in my back that I don't normally get to because it's introducing a different angle. By adding the rotation and the flexion, we're able to stretch out some of these muscles that don't usually get stretched. So my name is Kate Ham. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to subscribe for some other videos that on movement and wellness as well. Because for us here at Untitled, the destination is wellness.